Howdy, howdy, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. We're going to go through some of the documents that my scripts generate. First, let's go over the crypto risk files. That's including Bitcoin. Everything's all against USDT Tether, BTC, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Ethereum Classic. You can see here everything's negative, which is pretty weak, but let's see what's going on. So first we can sort everything by, these are shorting opportunities. There's a few here. We have Ethereum Classic, ZIL, ZIL, and Dash. So here, let's look at Dash. I can see here that we have our moving average crosses, not the most reliable. But what I will show you is here's it's a negative trend. Last I heard, there is a new fork or some new investment in a Dash from the Bitcoin Cash crew. So you can see here in the Fibs, Fibonacci's, it's been a little battered down. We also have a look back. I don't use this much, but here we did have some candles, both Maribuzu for the August 15th and 19th, and again, in case I didn't mention, this is August 21st at 8:07 p.m. New York time. Continuing along with Dash, not much going on here. It's pretty flat. Not a big fan of shorting, but Dash not looking too good. I've heard about Ethereum Classic. I think there's some hacking thing going on with Ethereum Classics in terms of security. So that's probably why it's not doing too good. We got a negative trend here, green line. We also have flat head and shoulders we don't really use. We have a bullish signal on the 15th, which is quite old. And what else do we have here? It's just been flat all around. Let's see here with the momentum being at 0 as well. Yeah, not too much going on here, but it's probably going to collapse maybe. Next one we have is XRP, which is Ripple. This can come and go. Again, it's not one of the top picks, but it's right here. We have a sell signal. That's probably why it's generating a short, again, negative trend. Which shouldn't be happening considering all of the ones have been performing better. You can see that rise up from about 20 cents to 30 cents. So it's moved up quite a bit, has flattened and has dropped off a little bit. This is a look back over 6 months, 180 days, has reached that point where the RSI is over 70. That's probably why it's dropping back. And for the last few days here, the last 3 days, it's been negative. And nothing too exciting. Here's ZIL. Again, we have that sell signal here, negative trend. A coin I would put a lot of money into. I've had a lot of success with this as well. But downtrend again, kind of rose up a little bit, went flat, and then came back down. Everything really depends on the performance of Bitcoin. All right, so that's a short list. Okay, so the next ones, as I said, we have a negative risk going on right now. Let me see what we can do next. We do longs filtered on volume, filtered on trend, and no filtering at all. Why don't we do a simpler one? Yeah, we'll stick with this one on trend here. Usually these are in order of what looks to be a pick-me-up. You can see this negative trend on the Ethereum bullish. Just been flat. I wouldn't even really consider this. Bitcoin next. It's looking okay. It's gone flat, but it has had some Nice run up. So we are in one right now. Fibonacci is still pretty tight. That's pretty well it for Bitcoin analysis. Next one we have is compound. Again, you can see this volume here. We have a buy signal, still a negative. This one doesn't really excite me. Compound has opened up with the Fibonacci levels, but it's been dropping from, I'm not sure what the amount is here, but it's just trending down. Next one we have is Dash. Again, we've talked about Dash, so I'm not going to focus on that. Bitcoin Cash. We have a cross here, moving by signal. Has somewhat flattened out the trend, which is good. So we have, if things do move up, currently Bitcoin Cash is close to an optimal entry level, so we'll keep an eye on that. Or the bot will as well. And here's one that has done fairly well, XMR, which is Monero private coin. It's been a nice run up since April. It's kind of rare, but still in a negative decline for the last, let's say, 6 months. But that's had a nice run up. It's just still, the Fibonacci levels are just too tight. So will it continue? That's a tough one to say because, again, it's right now it's contradicting the moves of Bitcoin. Here's another one, another private coin, Zcash. We've got another signal here, but it's dropped off over the last few days, so it's not performing as well as Monero. Again, it's undervalued, but not much space for the Fibonacci levels. Here we have another one that's done quite well, this rep. Was a sell buy signal here, has moved up, a fairly strong trend overall. As you can see here, roughly at around $19 all the way up to $26, $27 over the last few days. So it's had a nice, real nice run up. But from the Fibonacci level, it is overvalued over that 236 level. Next one we have is Ethereum. Ethereum has had a nice run up a little bit, not as much as Bitcoin, but still doing pretty good. And again, undervalued when historically, which is quite shocking. This is the base one for blockchain for the DeFi movement. If you've not been tracking that, that's been doing quite well, some of those coins. And Ethereum's behind that, so this should move up. There's been calls for Ethereum to hit around $10,000, which I don't know if it'll hit that, but possibly $3,000 in a short amount of time. And again, this is filtered on Trendy's coins. Next one we have is Litecoin. Been very flat, negative decline. You can see here, or in trend. Not much movement at all. Doesn't really give me a lot to get excited about. Ethereum Classic we already talked about. Let's see here what we got next. Neo, just super flat, super negative trend. Not a coin I'm a big fan of. Below, obviously, the Fibonacci levels. Next one we have is Band. Now, Band has done really well from this point, just under $2, rising up to about $14 since early July, but it has dropped off, so don't think you can get in on that. You know, you can see it reached just over $14, maybe $15. It's dropped back to $10. These kind of sudden spikes have very quick falls, as well as the volume does get dried up and then the price falls because of that. Band has done quite well. It's obviously here, as you can see in the Fibonacci, it is overvalued. The next one we have is Kava. Kava is another one that's done fairly well. You can see this run up since July, a little bit pullback, and it's come back again, and we are now in the midst of another pullback from just over $5 to about just under $3. And the last few days. But again, it's going to probably drop back, probably as you can see here on the Fibonacci level at 362. Next up, we have another coin that's been doing fairly well, similar to Kava. Nice sudden run up from early July, and just recently has started pulling back here, but it may still continue to move up. Atom, again, just slightly overvalued, but depending upon the performance of Bitcoin as usual. This one's done well, Waves. My system hasn't really caught it, but from early August, from 1.5 to 4.5, that's quite a bit. But again, it's dropped back from 4.5 to 3.5, which is quite a recent drop. But this is why we got to keep our eyes and ears peeled on these. So you can see here it has moved over the 236 fib level, dropped back to 236, and may drop back to 382, which may be another trend, but we have to, or another entry level. But we definitely have to keep our eye on the momentum on that one. Here's everybody's favorite coin of the last, since the beginning of the year. Chainlink has moved up from $5 all the way up to peaking at 20. That's an amazing drop. Drops back to 15. You can see that like pretty strong positive uptrend. So this coin is definitely going to be a very strong coin. Its volume has now exceeded Bitcoin Cash. So you can see how much overvalued this is as well. Will it drop back to the fib levels of 236? That's hard to say. But even if it does, I wouldn't be surprised that that will start to perform in the long run. Here we have EOS. Nothing exciting to report here. Negative trend. I won't say it's been left for dead, but it's definitely below all the traditional Fibonacci levels as well. Next one, QTUM. Slight upswing a little bit. Strong negative trend below the Fibonacci. So definitely not a top performer. OMG recently has done incredibly well since about mid-August, about $2 all the way up to $9, $10. This is one of those coins that does really well. Don't stop to think that this will drop off. It probably will. Has a slightly negative trend, but this is an interesting one to watch. Again, that is way above the Fibonacci levels as well. That's pretty well it for the longs. So hopefully that you can see which ones are performing well and which ones will hopefully continue to perform versus the other ones that are not doing all that well. So let's go back and look at the ones that are filtered on volume. So here we have ICX, flat, negative trend, nothing to get all excited about. Don't know what to tell you here. But here's the interesting thing, are these candlestick patterns. So we have a bearish signal generated on the 17th. And by looking over the last few days, yeah, that's what it's been doing. Yeah, but it's been moving up slightly here from 0.5 to 0.6. So that's going to be a nice move. But you need to focus on the RSI hitting roughly at 70. Will pull, well, just from a historical point of view, as it reaches 70, it pulls back and it may get driven up. But that's obviously determined by looking at the volume, the momentum. So this could do okay. You got this nice wick here, but again, not a top performer. OMG USDT. Look at this sudden rise from 3 all the way up to $9. Again, these are coins that you've probably never heard of that perform really well. And again, $3 to $9. That's in current play right now. And here's our candles. Bullish signal on the 17th. For both 3 stars and south. So those are definitely confirmed and have done quite well. Amazing. Okay, so here's our 180 look back the 6 months, but look at the RSI. Look at the momentum is quite steep. Question is, how long will it last on that run up? Here's a 90-day view. Just suddenly comes out of the blue. I think this is news driven by one of the other coins, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember which one it is, but it has moved from Ethereum to this coin as well. So that's probably what's running it up. You can get all that info in my Facebook group. Next one is Algo USDT. Not as strong. The crosses, not as strong with a drop here, way below the Fibonacci level. Here's some interesting, yeah. So these candles. The last one we have here is a bullish on the 19th. So maybe that has, and we have some more bullish on the 20th here as well. So that might help it and continue to help it get driven up. Again, let me repeat here on the run-ups. So this could do maybe ready for a takeoff of some kind from even if you look at late July to $3 to $7. It's dropped off a bit. It may be ready for, it's going to keep your eye on the momentum in RSI as well to make sure it's positive within the ranges we want. But when you look at these sort of things, these big bar moves down, that might be volume getting sucked out. So chances are it's not going to happen. Next one we have is ontology. Been very flat, very negative. Does have its moments. Let's see here. We do have a Marabuzu on the 19th. That's a pretty reliable candle. So we also have here the latest on a cross signal or a buy signal, but you can see here buy signal, sell, and it doesn't move. But that Marabuzu is of interest. And you can see here on this candle, it did move up from 8.5, 0.8.5 or 85 cents all the way up to $1. So this could move, but that was a down move in that negative bar right here. But could be interesting. BUS and USDT are two stable coins against each other. They're just going to be flat. Apparently, a guy made quite a bit of money trading stable coins against each other, so I'll talk about that on Monday night. But this one does show up a lot. That's the Binance US stable coin. Here we have the same. Again, I'm not going to go into details on that. All right, so we also have here JST. There's going to be some new ones that you may not have heard of. This is one I've not seen before. Very little volume. Start out with a negative trend. Below the Fibonacci, so it's getting beaten down pretty good. Bearish signal for the 18th, which is obviously not that good. So moving on. And you can see here it's been a downtrend lately as well. So we have ZRX. Another one that's moved quite well from 4 cents to 8 cents to 9 cents, which has doubled in probably the last week. That's a strong, not a decent trend up as well. We also have here our Fibonacci levels above the Fibonacci, so that's looking pretty good. Surprise, surprise, surprise. We also have here bullish signal on the 17th, which was established. It continues to still run up. Again, this is a really good wick all the way up, and that's a green one from 7 to 0.7 to 1. That's a 30% wick in the last day. Really good. RSI starting to approach 70. Momentum still does to build. This could be if you want a short-term profit. By the time you watch, it might be too late anyways, but that's a good one to watch. XLM, stellar, negative trend below the Fibonacci levels. Let's see what else we have here. XLM's been a slight trend up since July, let's say, and has gone flat since then. Pretty hard to trade that one. So again, it's not a solid uptrending one that you like. BAT, here's one that's been doing well. You can see it 0.25, quarter cent, almost doubling in a very short period of time, settling at 0.45. Again, another one that's doing quite well, and it's approached that 236 upper Fibonacci level. Quite good. And that's it for that lot there. I think we're done. So we have our long, but we have all blank. So it's not there. So that's pretty well it. Over the next day or so for the crypto, hopefully you got something out of this. Which ones are doing well, which ones aren't. And all I can say is thanks for watching, and we shall talk to you later. Have a good day.